Barbara, I don't know how many days and nights this team has spent thinking about these things and ways in which the former president may have had transgressions of the law, or at least of norms. But there is stuff in this redacted affidavit that is about lives, that is about danger, that is about national security. We're past the point of this was carelessness or this was bad record keeping. There's something in here that has led people to believe that this could actually be the thing that Donald Trump is prosecuted for.
Yeah, I think there are some things that are disclosed in this affidavit that makes me agree with you that it's more likely today than it was before that there would be a prosecution. One of the things we now know is that as far back as May of 2021, the National Archives was involved in a dialogue with Donald Trump to get these documents back. So he's been on notice for all that time that he had documents that didn't belong to him, that were classified, that contained national defense information that was lying around Mar-a-Lago. We learned today also that they found these documents not just in the storage room, but in something called the residential suite, in something called the 45 office, in something called the Pine Room. I mean, what is that? The place where people have a drink after they play golf? I don't know. But it's, beyond careless, reckless. And we also learned the nature of these secrets. It includes signals intelligence, human intelligence. That's the stuff where we've got assets in foreign countries being managed by case officers of the CIA. And FISA material, that's information that is collected that by definition includes counterintelligence information and terrorism information. So these are some really, really sensitive documents. They're lying around all over the place at Mar-a-Lago, and Trump is on notice for more than a year that he has these things and needs to return them. I can't see how he evades criminal charges unless there's something in those redactions that is exonerating.
Jill Wine-Banks, you have watched everything that Donald Trump has done in his presidency, but you also watched something that a different president did, and there's a Watergatiness to this in that the bumblingness of it, the intermixing of documents with I don't know what, hankies and underwear and other things, it makes it seem like it's not as serious as it is. But what Barbara just said is that there is stuff in here that had no business being in the president's house, and it's been there for 18 months. We have no idea what those NDIs, what that information about human intelligence, what those FISA documents, who's seen them, where they might have been, who might have photocopied them. We just don't know. It seems dumb, but this might be the most serious thing yet.
This is very serious, and I say that not just as the Watergate prosecutor, but as the former general counsel of the Army, familiar very much with human intelligence, signal intelligence, and national security. And this is stuff that some of it was in the hallway going to the public pool. Anybody could have gone past it. It wasn't locked up appropriately. And besides the national security implications, all of this belongs to the American people, to the National Archives. Even the things that are just presidential records that aren't classified should not be at Mar-a-Lago. They are not Donald Trump's documents. They are the people's documents. They are there for history to study. And so it's really a shame that he has those. And one of these laws would bar him from ever running for office should he be convicted of that particular offense. But all of them are very serious offenses, and all of them put at risk our national security. And he knew he had them, as you pointed out. He's known for a long time. The National Archives has been saying, please return our documents. You have classified documents. They removed classified documents. They removed 15 cartons of them. And now they just took away 25 cartons more after he said, well, there's nothing left. I've given you everything. That wasn't true. They obviously got recent information from someone that caused them to be alarmed and to go in there.
It's lost on no one that Jill's pin tonight is a padlock. Mark, let's talk about some of these things, because there's a general view amongst people in intelligence and political critics of the intelligence operations in the United States that stuff is overclassified. And there's some argument that at lower levels of stuff that otherwise exists in the public domain, someone would have testified about it in Congress, but these documents remain classified, and sometimes they don't get unclassified in enough time for people and researchers and journalists to get access to them. That's not what we're talking about in some of these cases. There are markings on some of these things that were taken from Mar-a-Lago that I am unfamiliar with, and I was not familiar with until today. They are at a high level of intelligence that does possibly lead to exposure of people like intelligence gatherers, spies, people who work in other countries.
No, exactly. So I have spent 30 years challenging the classification system of the U.S. government to declassify information, because even the most senior government officials will testify before Congress that probably up to 50% of information is overclassified. But I also represent some of the most covert operatives who work for our government, both assets, foreign assets who work overseas, and also our people who, if they were caught in their foreign countries, could be executed. And what this affidavit showed us in particular, we knew about, okay, SCI information, sensitive compartmented information was received. That's bad. But then to read about these dissemination controls on the documents, such as HCS, human intelligence, as Barbara talked about, that's talking about my clients who could be potentially at risk, or the FISA material from the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act court, which is dealing with trying to counter foreign agents who are operating here in the United States. To think that these records were willy-nilly floating around Mar-a-Lago for a year and a half is unthinkable.